What's up guys, it's Tom here from Number One Beats, and today we're gonna figure out if AI can make better music than a professional music producer. Let's find out.
I'm grounded, stuck in place.
Damn son, damn. So what I'm gonna do is generate 2 AI pop songs using the program Udio, and then I'm gonna compare it with a pop song that I produced and wrote myself called Cecilia. So to keep this as objective as possible, I'm going to rate them on 3 main criteria: the production quality, the lyrics, and the originality of the songs. And to make sure that I'm as unbiased as possible, I've had my song rated ahead of time by 50 musicians that I do not know on the Submit Hub Hot or Not rating system. So without further ado, let's see if AI is better than a professional music producer. Alright. So first up, I'm going to go to the artist page, Tom Fuble, and I'm going to play the song Cecilia that I produced. So let's just play the chorus and see what it sounds like.
Oh Cecilia, won't you come my way? You're like a meteor, here from outer space. I wanna be with you, but it seems you don't feel the same. You're mine.
So that is the chorus of the song Cecilia. It's a quirky pop love song. It's got like cheesy synths. You can kind of date it anywhere between like the 80s, I guess, but it's also got a modern kind of twist to it with the really modern kind of sounding pop vocals that I've put in here. So that is what the song sounds like, guys. Now what we're going to do is quickly cover our rating system, and then we can start generating some AI songs. So here I'm on Submit Hub on the Hot or Not rating system. Now we can see the weighted average is about 84 out of 100, so we're doing pretty good. We're in the purple, guys. And then the raw numbers, not as good, but still better than the site average, 72 out of 100. So this is all subjectively rated by random musicians on the Submit Hub platform. I don't know any of these people, so it's as unbiased as I can kind of get from my rating system. Now here we can see our 3 main criteria, which is production quality, lyrics, and originality. Now you might realize that there's only 45 ratings. I did say 50, but I had to basically just discount 5 ratings just because they were statistical outliers. Anyways, so we have production quality of 72, which is pretty good. Lyrics, 68.8, and then originality is 67.6. Now, we took a hit on these 2 metrics, the lyrics and originality, because this is a cheesy love song, and people, I guess, felt it was a little bit cheesy. It's supposed to be. So I'll take the L there, but we did pretty well on the production quality. So moving forward, remember these numbers. What I've done is I've actually listed them out here in a little table for us, so we can see Cecilia, and then we have all our numbers, and the average is 69.46. So that is the number for AI to beat, guys. Now without any further ado, let's go and generate some AI pop songs. So I have my prompt here that I've written ahead of time, and we want to jump onto the platform Udio. You can generate a whole bunch of songs. You can see someone's generated the Huok Tour. It's actually pretty funny. I would recommend go checking that out. So what you want to do is jump over here and paste our prompt in, and I'll read it out to you guys. So a quirky retro pop love song about a boy who is infatuated with a girl. She does not feel the same way about him. The girl is described as a meteor from out of space. The boy can see her fly past, but can never be with her. It's groundbreaking storytelling, guys. But basically, this is just the exact plot and song meaning of the song Cecilia that I produced. So what we're going to do is click create, and it's going to generate 2 songs for us. Now we've got to play the waiting game, guys. We've got to play the waiting game. Now I will say that AI is much quicker at producing than I am. I think it took me about like a week to do the mix down and the master and just finalizing everything. AI is going to do it in about, I don't know, 5 minutes. So okay, so we have names already. We have Media in the Sky and Media Heartbreak. So they're really going hard on that media metaphor. Oh, there you go. It did it in like a minute, so it was pretty damn quick. So without any further ado, let's go listen to Media in the Sky and see what we think based on our 3 judging criteria. Damn, son. Damn. That was actually not half bad. It went a lot more retro than I did with my song, but you can hear that it's a vibe, and the production is not half bad. Like it's up there. Like it's up there. Like if you compared it to a professional mixer, you could say like, okay, there's artifacts and glitches, but it's not. Nothing's muddy. Nothing's like really crap. If you want to look at it that way, so it's definitely up there. I'm gonna have one more listen, and then we're gonna start giving it some ratings. Okay, so we'll start with production quality for Media in the Sky. Now, I think it actually did a pretty damn good job. I think what AI is really good at is just kind of like isolating signals, like EQ frequency. So it really understands how to make sure things are clear and not muddy. And you can kind of hear basically all the elements. You can hear the drum is kind of further back. You can hear a lot of instrumentations panned like left and right. And then you can hear the vocal quite clearly. So like I would give it like pretty good marks. It's at least a 70 out of 100 for production quality. I think the things that kind of like pull it down is just like there are some like glitchy tones, there are some artifacts. You can kind of always tell, like I think there's a guitar in there and it sounds a little bit, just a bit wonky, like they've put on some weird plug-in. And I guess that is what happens when you synthesize guitars. Like VSTs on guitars are notoriously not the best. They're never going to sound as good as a clean guitar. So that's probably why I'll give it a rating of 70. It didn't quite beat us. It got close though. I think like, within like another 6 months or a year, like mixing with AI is just going to be the new thing. It's like, why would you even use a music producer to mix? Especially if you don't have the budget for it. You just go straight to AI and just bam, done. So really good for independent artists, really crap for music producers, I reckon. But let me know what you guys think about the mix. I'm going to give it a 70 out of 100. Now, lyrically, I think like the lyrics were pretty crap on this. Generally, I find like with AI-based lyrics, they're just kind of like generic crap nonsense. Sometimes they have like good sentences, like one or two good sentences filled in with more crap. And usually, like if you've ever tried to write songs with ChatGPT, you'll find the same thing. It's like you'll give it the song idea. Maybe I paste this prompt into ChatGPT and it'll give me like something about a media, something about a girl, but none of it really quite makes sense and has any emotional connection with the lyrics of the songwriting. It's kind of just like blur stuff that kind of makes sense, but then when you like listen to it over and over again, you're just like, this is just like, there's no emotion here, and it's kind of just like you can tell like whoever told the story, obviously a robot in this case, has no idea about why they're telling the story. And I think with songwriting, a lot of it is the why. Like, why should we care? Why is this important? And I think like it was pretty basic lyrics. I'm going to give it like a 55. And then for originality, I think like it was like smack bang into that retro pop sound. Like it definitely sounded like it was from that era. Could have been anywhere between like the 60s all the way up to the 80s, depending on like, where you draw the line there. But I would say like it's like a solid 60. Nothing is groundbreaking, but it just fits right in, right? So if we're looking at originality, and again, this is subjective, as like, oh wow, this is cool. Like they did something cool with the genre. Well, they didn't really do anything cool with the genre. They just did the genre. And like, what do you expect? You told it to do the genre, and it did the genre. So that is what I would rate it. And let me pull out my calculator and figure out what this average is. So we're going with 61.66. So again, guys, number one beats reigns supreme. No one beats number one beats. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. We have Media Heartbreak. So let's see what that song sounds like.
She's a meteor out from space. Oh, she's too bright for this place. Hey, suddenly, my heart races when she's by, but she leaves and I just sigh. Oh, feels like I'm asking why.
Again, I'm always like surprised about like how quickly AI can generate something that sounds pretty much like 80% of the way there. Like obviously like vocals with AI is just always produced kind of poorly compared to like our standards, just because it always sounds like it's got that metallic chorusy doubler effect on it, and you never really get like a clear crystal vocal. And obviously it's not sung by a real person, so what can you expect? They are going to get better at that over time, so that might change pretty soon. But I think usually with these songs, that is the biggest drawdown, is like the vocals they almost sound real, but you can kind of tell straight away. And if you ask like kids now, when they're listening to AI music versus like normal people music, like people like me who make music, they can kind of tell the difference. And I'm kind of also similar. Like I just hear this like metallic phase, and I'm like, that's an AI generated song. And you can also hear that sometimes in some of the instrumentations, like some of the drum hits, some of like the guitars, the bass. You can just like barely, but you can hear like this little glitch, and you're like, okay, that's some processing has happened there that like a normal producer would definitely not do. Having said that, the rest of the mix is pretty good. Like I can't really fault these mixes. I'm gonna have one more listen, and then I'll give it a rating. So I think like the mix again, I think like this mix is a little bit better than the other one. I don't understand why they always make the drums super loud and super panned and super wide. I think like, okay, I guess you can do that and just say the overheads are just up here and they just sound like this. What I will say is like they really, like AI is really good at mixing like with width and fullness. Like it sounds very full. Some might even say fuller than my song. If you say that, I will destroy you. Yeah, I'll leave that for you guys to decide. I reckon I'm going to give this like, let's be generous. Let's give it like a 72. I don't think it was better than my mix. I feel like I have more separation in the stems in the particular instruments. I think like sometimes, actually, yeah, no, we have to give it a 70. It's like realistically, they're probably like 65 to 70 mixes. They struggle with depth, in my opinion. Width, they get pretty good, but depth, I don't really think AI is doing much on depth with mixing. Now, with lyrics, again, these lyrics are shocking. It's like, I have zero connection with the lyrics. They're a little bit like muddy and like drowned in the mix as well. I think the vocal could have been a little bit clearer in this particular instance. So in that case, maybe let's go 67. I'm just critiquing it even further now. I'm destroying this song. But, AI made it, so there's no emotion. So, the computer can go cry in its endless loop of generations. We have originality again. I'm going to go with like 55. I don't think it was very original. It just sounded like any generic song. After hearing it, I don't really have any like melodies in my head that I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that song. It's like, you hear it and you forget it. And I think that's the problem with like AI music. It lacks soul, and it lacks passion, and it lacks emotion. And that's why you kind of like hear it in the moment. It sounds all great. And then you reflect upon it and you're like, I don't even know what that song was about. I don't even know the name of that song. I can only give it what I hear, and that's what I heard. So let's see what the average rating is. We got 57.33. So after listening to two AI generated pop songs and comparing it to the pop song that I produced, I think we have a clear winner, guys. I think nobody can really beat Number One Beats. Yours truly. Now, if you like a free music production cheat sheet, check out the link in the description. Yeah, my final thoughts is really this. I think like AI is really going to take over the music industry, but should we be worried as music producers and songwriters and artists? I don't really think so. Not anytime soon. I think there's always going to be a space for like live performing musicians. In terms of like music producers, you should be a little bit worried, I guess, but you should also use AI to like help create your own music. I think like, as AI mixing and mastering gets better, you won't have to do that much work. So basically all your decisions are going to be made in the production of the song itself, and making something that's unique and sounds great and has like good emotion and good soul behind the track, whether it's the instrumentation or the singing or the vocals, whatever it is, right? And I think that's really the key separators of like a human producing a song versus AI producing a song. But it is getting scary good, and who knows what will happen. Am I personally worried? Probably not, because I feel like my song easily trumped any of these songs, and it's got like 22,000 streams on Spotify. No one's going to really listen to these AI songs. They're just going to be playing in the background of like ads and stuff. So, do with that what you may. But let me know what you guys think about this kind of standoff. Do you think my song was better than these two AI pop songs. Leave your comments in the description, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Bye.